All right, here is the making of the medicinal mushrooms of Alberta, which includes wild foraged as well as some locally grown medicinal mushrooms, all here from Alberta. I've been pouring off many of the tinctures, and you can kind of see what remains of each of the jars that I will continue to add more mushrooms and extract in both hot water and alcohol. So I want to just kind of walk you through what is in this formula, kind of the new expanded, and then I'm going to share some of the benefits, properties from this book, Robert Rogers, The Fungal Pharmacy. So first and foremost, actually in no particular order, we're going to start with this guy here. So here's the Latin name has actually changed. It is a Fomitopsis. This is the red-belted polypore. Fomitopsis pinicola was its name previous, and so that has just been sliced up and placed into, as each of these are, both a hot water and an alcohol decoction. So red-belt polypore has been considered a daily tonic. And in fact, this one specifically helps reduce inflammation of the digestive tract, improves just general kind of resistance all over. It's antibacterial and immunomodulator. Next one here, this is the Birch Polypore. And in fact, I should kind of highlight that each of these mushrooms, not all of them, but many of them are polypores, meaning they don't have gills. So the specimens I'm showing you here, these are kind of old, they're dried out. They're just ones that I have for display, but all these mushrooms that were extracted were done so fresh. So Birch Polypore, as the name suggests, grows primarily on birch trees. So I have to go a little bit farther north to get that mushroom in particular, but there it is. That one is now in the blend, in the formula. Piptoporus botulinus is the last Latin name that I know of. I believe that one still holds. It is said to produce and accumulate in its fruiting bodies antiseptics and pharmacologically active substances that are claimed to reduce fatigue and soothe the mind. That is the Birch Polypore. Amongst that, it's anti-inflammatory, antiviral, as many of these mushrooms are, both anti-inflammatory and antiviral. And growing on the birch, similar to our good friend chaga over here, both these mushrooms kind of accumulate and concentrate betulinic acid and betulin. And the Birch Polypore kind of as common and just as medicinal, but less kind of known and revered and utilized as a medicine, contains just as much of those two substances as chaga, said to help destroy melanoma cancer cells without affecting healthy tissue. So, powerful one. Okay, next right here we have, this is the Tinder Kong. Yeah. All right, so Tinder Kong, this is one of the mushrooms, along with this guy here, that Otzi the Iceman had on him. And, as the name suggests, one of the reasons that Otzi was using it was it can actually hold and transport fire. So it has other uses apart from being medicinal, kind of the antimicrobial, antibacterial type substance. Here we have right next to it, I had to use a little piece of chaga as a stand-in, but it kind of looks like chaga, and Denis Manzer calls it, the chaga of the aspen tree. So whereas chaga grows specifically on birch, this Felinus Tremulae grows specifically on aspen trees, and very, very, very common around in southern Alberta, where we have so many aspen trees. So it helps boost immunity, it inhibits tumor growth, it's high antioxidant, it has anti-hepatotoxic activity, it's really good for inflammation, especially if someone has things like rheumatoid arthritis, and it's anti-diabetic, meaning it helps reduce blood sugar and just create that balance. So yeah, got lots of great medicinal properties, and again, very, very commonly found, but not as recognized and utilized. Okay, so this guy, this is a favorite for many people. This is lion's mane, and the dried one that I have in front of you is a cultivated one. And there are some cultivated lion's mane in that jar that I've extracted, as well as some wild ones. Our local Hericium species, most notably known for producing or increasing nerve growth factor. So very good for the brain, for nervous system, memory, focus, concentration, and all the rest. And here's chaga, classic medicinal mushroom. Many people know about chaga. Contains a lot of nutrients, in particular high amount of alkaline minerals, one of the highest substances of zinc, and many other essential minerals supporting our health, in particular with skin health, immune health. It's also very good for digestive health, so it can help with gut issues, irritable bowel. It really just inhibits oxidative stress in general because it's one of the highest antioxidant substances of anything. Anti-tumor, immune boost, good for skin, like I mentioned, conditions like psoriasis, amazing. All right, here we go. Here we got some oyster mushrooms. Again, a dried specimen just to show you what it looks like. That one I found wild. There are some wild Alberta oyster in there, plus some locally grown oyster mushrooms. I just keep adding more and more and more to that jar and tincturing it out. Oyster, considered a nerve tonic, great for balancing cholesterol, your LDL, HDL, antioxidant. That's similar to chaga. Boost levels of superoxide dismutase, which is your ultimate internal antioxidant, as well as glutathione peroxidase, antimicrobial, so on and so forth. All right, this one here, this was the artist conch. This is our local reishi, and this is some artwork that's been done by my friend Yara Willard from Harmonic Arts in Wildrose College. That's what it looks like on top. Yeah, this is kind of our local reishi, or the ancient reishi as it's known, Ganoderma oplanatum. And again, that's a dried specimen in there. Is a locally grown, wild harvested, not locally grown, a wild harvested from the local area in its sporing phase. So there's actually some spores in there. And then again, as they all are, hot water and ethanol extract. Our Ganoderma oplanatum, again, like many of the medicinal mushrooms, has benefits and properties for radiation protection, immune regulation. This one apparently even helps with altitude sickness, higher elevations in oxygen utilization, and it's even been used for people with Hashimoto's. So putting all this together into one little formula is a very potent kind of daily mushroom tonic. And for those of you that live in Alberta, it is the mushrooms of our ecosystem, our landscape. There are other ones I could have put in here, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different wild and some additions of locally grown mushrooms. Yeah, can't get more potent than that. All dual extracted. We have it in 120 ml and 60 ml tincture forms. Available now, limited supply, because honestly, this is just me going out, harvesting these, making this in-house. And I'll typically get about maybe like a gallon to 2 gallons at a time, and very seasonal in terms of when I can get all of these mushrooms and have them combined. So just finished up a batch, and we'll have that for a little while.